Hey y'all, Dog Dude here. Time to modify a skateboard. Picked these up at Goodwill for about 10 bucks. You can get a brand new one at what's the name of that stupid Wally World place, Walmart, for about 20 bucks. Brand spanking new, never been used before. Usually they come with a plastic coating on the bottom, and a lot of times you can see around the trucks where people have peeled the plastic coating off. This one has some kind of a funky plastic, I don't know, you move it and it gives you different holographic weird images. This is not going to be easy to paint because the paint's probably not going to stick to it. You can paint this side with any kind of paint. You can brush it on, spray it on, doesn't matter what. I'm not going to worry too much about making it fancy. You can do whatever you want in that regard. Just be kind of careful with the bottom material if you want to paint the bottom. A lot of times they'll put that plastic on, but underneath the plastic is just paper, and you can totally paint that. So I'm going to very quickly roll through. I'm just going to take the trucks off of this one, and I'm not going to go through the process of anything I do with it beyond that. I'm going to grab some other parts, and we're going to put one together so you can kind of see how it works out. Quickly. So it's good to have a drill and a wrench that exactly fits the nuts that you're dealing with. And should be right. Make sure you don't lose any of it. Oops. Wow. That was quick. Maybe if it wasn't on high speed, right? Alright, you can see that piece of plastic I was talking about. The whole bottom was covered with that to protect it. And they put the protective plastic coat on before they put the trucks on, which seems kind of odd to me, but whatever. I guess that's how you have to do it, right? But when you peel it off, you end up with this plastic crap sticking out from under the trucks. It's kind of stupid. I should have done the other one this way, huh? Cracks in my desk. I gotta be careful I don't lose any down there. One more to go. Alright, that's all of them. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything to the bottom of this, nor am I going to paint the top right now. I can go along and do that later, but since the bottom's not going to have anything done to it at all, I'm just going to not worry about it. This one was actually $15 at Goodwill. I don't know why I paid that much for it. Usually they're only about $10, and realistically more like $9.99. Anyway, also these Goodwill stickers don't come off very easy. You want to make sure you're not stealing their stuff. Anyway. Alright, wasting time here. So this is how you take it apart. Simple as that. I may do some stuff to it before I go putting it back together. I'm just going to set it over there for right now. Stick all the nuts and bolts with it. And just like a cooking show, I'm going to bring out my prepared one. I got my trucks, got all the screws, got a drill bit. I've got a wrench and a pair of pliers. The wrench actually fits the bigger nuts that I have, but I don't have one that fits the smaller ones, so I'm going to have to use those pliers for those. So, the way the trucks go on, so you can remember, is this flat edge always goes to the outside of the board, so this nut goes to the inside. So it's going to sit on there about like thusly. And that's very slippery. So we have to line these up. If they're off, I can't really see what I'm doing here. If they're off a little bit, the board's going to wobble. And that's not a super big problem, because even a wobbly board's going to work just fine for a dog. Basically, they're either running and jumping on it and landing and riding it out until it's done, or they're putting feet on it and pushing with 1 or 2 feet. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it's just a dog riding it. Unless you're dealing with a bulldog like, what was that bulldog's name? Oh, I can't remember. He was the natural balance spokes dog. All right, so the only important thing about getting this straight, I had a square. I've lost my square. Where's my square? Sorry, I'm trying to find a square here. Yeah. This workbench all cleaned off, and then I had to find a tool. I couldn't find it. So I put all the tools I had up on the workbench, and I must have put in this bag the one I need way in the bottom. All right, at least I know where my tools are. Right. It's me. You'll get chewed up by the dog if you stay down there. All right, sorry about that. I may or may not cut that out. I don't know what the heck. So I usually want to square like this. And the edges curve in, so it really doesn't want to work too well. It actually works kind of crappy. So I'm going to take a ruler, method number 2, and you've got the holes that you can kind of line up on. So I take the trucks and I just kind of line them up about where, eyeball it about where I think it should be. And then I take the ruler and I lay it down right along the edge of the truck, and I run it right along down where the holes are from the previous, and I just kind of line it up like it looks like it should be centered right about there. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. If it's level and it doesn't wobble, you probably got lucky. So there's a pattern on here that you can see where the trucks were mounted before. There's lines on the board where you can kind of see where it indented the wood just a little bit, so you can line this ruler mark up with the previous, where the previous edge was on either side, and chances are it's going to be pretty straight. And then the front to back isn't too critical either. I don't want this thing to get screwed up though. I can just move it off to the edge. All right, so I like to take a really wasn't as well prepared as I thought I was I? But at least I know where the tools are. I mean, that's a whole new concept around here. Alright, so I take one of these little clampy thingies and I clamp it down so that it doesn't go anywhere. And this can be kind of hard because just clamping it down can make it move. Kind of tight there, and then I'm going to recheck it real quick, and then I'll start drilling the holes. I also like to move the clamp off to the edge a little bit when I first hook it up, because that will allow me to drill this hole a lot easier. And then after I've gotten these 3 holes drilled, I'll put the screws in, put the nuts on, and then I'll move it over and then drill this last hole. So let me check that again, make sure it didn't move too much. Didn't move at all. Maybe a little bit, not enough to matter. All right, get it tight. And this. Before I used to hook both the hook both of them up with clamps, but I'm just going to do one at a time this time. I've probably done half a dozen of these so far. So this is the best method I've come up with up to this point. So we're going to back on high speed here. Oh man, it moved. I hate it when that happens. I gotta check it again. Anytime anything moves, you check it. See, that moved it to where it's gonna be off. Yep. I gotta move it back a little bit. Check it again. Looks good now. So I'm gonna try and hold it a little bit better, but not let it move. In fact, as soon as I get this first hole drilled, I'm going to put the screw in. In fact, I'm going to check again. This is like the hardest one so far. And it's pretty close. I'm going to put a screw through it anyways. So putting the screw through just really helps to hold that one spot. It will assist the clamp just a bit. Also be sure you're using a drill bit that's just a hair larger than the screws you're using. Since I don't want to change this out on the drill because it's a pain in the butt, I'm just going to do this. Oh, that's not the right one. I have this one for. This is where having two drills comes in handy, I suppose you could say. It doesn't have to be too tight, I just want it tight enough so I can move around much. It's moving around. But it's still straight, so I'll actually loosen this and put it on a little bit better because I see why it's moving. It's just not centered very well. Okay. Hopefully, I'll edit this video and none of that crap will be there. This is taking way longer than I thought it would. Way longer than it usually takes. And just to keep it straight, I'm going to go ahead and put a screw through there too, but I'm not going to tighten this one down. Now that you got two in there, it'll hold it much better. Since I've got two screws in there, I'm not too worried about it moving. So I'm going to slide this over that way. I don't think that's enough room. I'm going to have to loosen it a bit. Oh, no, it did move. Alright, I'm going to put that screw through there. It would figure that when I go to film it, it doesn't go smoothly, right? Isn't that how it always works? So, I should have put the screw in. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about, apparently. All I know is that you want these screw holes to line up, because if they don't, you're screwed. I can never pass something like that up. How long is this sucker already? Damn, 13:13. It's interesting that I would look at just that moment. Yeah, we're going to have to edit this sucker just a little bit. Come on, nut, get on there. I don't want to, but whatever. Okay. Check the alignment again because I can still adjust it a little teeny bit. That's good. All right, last hole. And once this last one goes in, actually you take the clamp off right now, it wouldn't hurt anything, but so, that is how you do it. I'm going to go ahead and do the other end, and I'll edit this video for length and shorten it down so that you can see the finished product. And basically, you just tighten those nuts down, and it's on the end. That's how it works. Super simple. There's lots of different ways that you can go to line it up. And like I said, chances are it's going to end up wobbly anyway. It's virtually impossible to get it completely straight. Once you have it on, you could do this where you line that up with the previous holes and just see how straight it is. Not that it matters because after the fact, but You could draw lines, you could measure, you know, you can do whatever you want. Basically, all you got to do is move these 4 holes down here in such a way that this is relatively straight compared to the back one. Simple as that. All right, I'm gonna do the other end real quick, and I'm gonna learn how to edit video in such a way that I can speed things up. I need to learn how to do that, so I might as well just do it now, right? Say right. I'm messing it up somewhere. That's kind of weird. Maybe it goes to that. All right. Maybe if I talk less, it'll work better. After a while, you just get good at eyeballing it, apparently. Because that one was right on. Paying attention, you probably noticed I screwed those through at the same time without putting screws in. No. Do as I say, not as I do. At least that's what I was always told growing up. Seemed a little hypocritical to me, but whatever. Right. One more screw to go. Take this off. Ow. And all we got left is to tighten up the screws. I guess I should put this so you could see it, huh? It'd be a more interesting video if you weren't looking at just like the thing on my shirt, my beard, and all that. Okay. All right. I don't like to tighten these down too super hard right off the bat. Tighten them all down just snug. And then sometimes you can set it down. And you can tweak it enough that it's not wobbly. Maybe. If we're lucky. Way you can sort of see it, huh? loud it is. This is always the moment of truth right here. And granted, my workbench isn't really very so slightly. That's awesome. Almost nailed it. Alright, so I'm just going to finish tightening these down. I like tighten them down until it just sucks the edge of the screw right down onto the top of the board, so it's not sticking out too much. If you go too far, you might screw up the wood. Suck it too far in, who knows. Just try and go flush. This is where a wrench comes in handy, because pliers just don't work as good. I guess that's all we're going to get out of that one. It looks good anyways. Tillman, that was that dog's name. That bulldog that rode surfboards and skateboards and all kinds of cool stuff. So if you have a bulldog, you should definitely have a skateboard, because bulldogs tend to take to it all natural like. Alright, I guess they're all good. Good enough. Super Pie! Where's my quad dog? How about you hop on up here and show the people how these things work? Real quick. Right at the end of the video. Ready? Chip. Chip, chip. Good boy. Hop on up there. Bye-bye. Ride it. Good boy. Oh, he's such a good dog. He's the best. That's how it works. You just kind of hang out on it while it's moving. He says he knows this trick. It's one of his favorites. Alright, that's it guys. Quad Dog, Dog Dude, we's out of here. Hope you enjoy your skateboards. I got about 10 of these for sale if you want one. I don't know what to sell them for. Comment down below. Let me know what you think.